Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Decisive Campaigns, Barbarossa, episode number 32. I have like a brief moment, maybe an hour of free time, and whether or not I wanted to catch up on some sleep or record this, the answer was obvious. Let's get back to recording Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa. Last episode just went out, I already saw some good comments. Well, it just went out, so I think there's only 6 comments at this point in time, but one of them was pretty funny. I thought every turn is just building up for the next turn. I completely agree with that comment. I don't know how to, maybe they mean it in a different way than I see it, but I feel like every turn I'm like, yeah, and that pocket, once it closes next turn, we'll be able to make some advances. And then the next turn is like, okay, now we're trying to get to this pocket, and that means next turn we'll be able, it's always this way. Anyway, let's get to the history. There's almost nothing to say about it. I went through it just once, and, I don't have as much time to prep perhaps as I'd like. This is the most interesting part of it, probably. I think. This pullback, maybe the pullback by the other pocket that we're trying to form. So that this unit actually was able to break out. 1, 2. We could, in theory, go back and recapture them because that's as far as they got. But yeah, and here's the other one, the Tula pocket. Don't know if this one will end up being closed because they are making some pushback. But it's good to see that the Soviet commander is aware of the situation and trying to compensate. Looks like they're also potentially looking at protecting against a Tichuan cutoff. I like to see these kind of things. So also it's good because it means that our actions are being accounted for, which is cool because then, just taking a quick step back, if we had an AI that was so brain dead it didn't sense a pocket was being closed, that would be pretty bad. But you can tell that the AI in this game is actually pretty sensitive to the fact that pockets are going to be closed. Maybe not as much as it could be. It's not a human player, but it's pretty good for AI, especially one built by one person. So that's my quick thoughts on that. Yeah, a little bit of, I think, defensive posturing, I guess, by Stalino. This is the Tula pocket area. We're going to see these forces mostly starting to pull back. Maybe not in the north. In the north, honestly, they're kind of already cut off. I guess they could go across the bridge that they blew. Yeah, working in their disadvantage at this point. Yeah, but there they are. Yeah, they are starting to pull back. So movement by the Valdai Hills, I was wondering when that might happen, if they would start withdrawing from it. It looks like this is the turn it happened. In fact, I didn't really even catch that on my first pass through the history. So that's actually new to me, is the fact that they're actually pulling out here, which is good. I like to see that. Redeploying up here, which is actually... I'm really glad we got across that river now. This unit will probably be cut off from supply, but it'll be back in supply as soon as we link up. So not a big deal. And what do we have here? This is in the south along the 17th Army front. Yeah, just readjusting. And that's it. So not much to say about the history. We already looked, big spoiler, at the stats from last turn. Oh my goodness. We didn't see this. I didn't look at the stats last turn. We looked at the stats last turn for last turn. I'm saying last episode. But there was another huge plummet. My goodness. Not that many casualties, though. This is less than 70. It's only 80,000 casualties for the... So how does that even happen? Because they lost 200,000 troops, basically. How does that happen if the casualties sustained is only 80,000? Well, there must be some kind of withdrawal mechanic. Or, I should say, okay, there's another possibility here. When you have units that are cut off, there is a card the Soviets can play, which allows them to disperse one division for some amount of political points into the surrounding countryside, basically. They eliminate one of their own divisions for an increase in partisan activity. Maybe they're deploying that and actually robbing me of those casualties, but they still act as depleting the army. I'm not sure. I don't know if that counts as casualties or not. There might be another explanation, but that's all I can come up with at this time. Anyways, I think that's it for the history. Those stats are really nice to see. The Soviet army is now fighting at less than 1 million troops. This is from a peak of almost 2 million. And that's on top of 3 million casualties. Look, in real life, there's a lot of people who will tell you there's no way that the Germans could have defeated the Russians, the Soviet Union. And looking at it, there's a lot of truth to that, especially with the logistical situation. if we were to imagine a scenario, and this is all just unicorns and, you know, fairies, but if we were to imagine a scenario where the logistics were like this, so maybe this game, I don't know, if you had the logistics to push this kind of front, my question, I guess, is this. If this was the realistic historical picture as of end of September 1941 in the Germans' Barbarossa, would they, from this starting point, or from whatever starting point, for basically from this picture of the game, would they have a chance to win? I still don't know. And I think a lot of it would depend on how Stalin would act, and Stalin is kind of unpredictable, so he doesn't seem like he would have surrendered, but I mean, let me not associate myself, but if the Nazis, so just to make it clear, these are not the good guys, if the Nazis, the Germans, had taken Moscow and were doing so well, would Stalin have considered a peace? I don't know if Hitler would have considered a peace, though. So anyway, again, all hypotheticals and probably stuff I'm not qualified to talk about, but it's still stuff that, in my mind, I wonder. Okay, let's switch over to the action. Well, for the first time, we're not going to break up the Army Group North into Finnish and German movements, where we can just do them all at the same time. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we have this unit that's kind of just pushing along. 5, yeah, so we can move them here. I'll get that hex next turn, but I want to move this unit here so that I can move you down by 1. Just showing that that's the extent of the range, so now we're at least putting pressure. And oh my gosh, we didn't know what was here, but now we do. It's a tank division, a garrison, and an HQ. Okay, not too surprising. And then we have this. They can't. Well, I don't think they can move into the marsh. Let's see. Yeah. And then we actually have the Leningrad MD HQ. Motor? No, I don't know what the MD stands for, but I'm sure somebody will correct me. Anyway, we can do an attack here. Might as well get this one. I'm kind of indifferent to casualties. I don't want to be too indifferent about it. That worked out very well. But basically, just push anything that's in our way out of the way. Just get it gone. Get them gone. We'll do it again. First one went pretty well. We took infinitely more casualties than the second one, which isn't saying much. It was just 200. But that's just shows you how you can manipulate words. Was it lies, damn lies, and statistics? Yeah, I think I will move you over. We'll probably do a follow-up attack just to hopefully eliminate that unit. We'll probably swing back up and take Petrozavodsk. But I don't have any plans to do that like immediately. And probably the 61 is the one who will eventually head up that way. So we'll have them start heading up that way. 61, 61, 65, maybe another one, maybe the 58. Otherwise, let's just try to get these units as far forward as possible. Only one unit is across the bridge, and he's way across the bridge. But I don't think there's going to be a sudden spawn of units that appear on my eastern flank here. I mean, I hope not. It could happen. There we go. I think this 58 will also contribute to the attack up here. So, you here. Well, I mean, maybe you're the one who can go up and snag that, and 61 can just head down. Just make sure everybody is within command range. They all are. Just swing our way south. So it looks like Leningrad we have the possibility of taking it out this turn. These units are somewhat limited on their supply consumption, which now leads me to question what exactly this red dot means, considering a lot of these units are out of supply. Now some of them are not, but these two units are both very clearly not out of supply. I'm not exactly sure, and I'm pretty sure that it is the intent of the developers not to have Leningrad units go out of supply, since that is the historical scenario as well. Well, kind of the historical scenario. I guess people were still starving in there, but... okay, anyway, we don't really want to attack with motorized, although they will certainly do a lot of damage. We are, right now, just to give everyone the big heads up, we're going to attack Leningrad. So this Moscow just fell last turn, September 22nd. Wait, is it last turn? 2 turns ago, I guess already. September 18th. And now, basically a week later, Leningrad will be under assault. Just trying to position who I want to get into the attack. The 16th Army, unfortunately, can't really move up any further. Otherwise, they would be a prime candidate. But I can probably stick this infantry into the attack instead. In fact, I can probably allow one motorized to attack from the south. They'll take potentially some losses, but that's their lot in life. I could just attack from over here, and that will prevent the motorized from having to attack. But let's see what we're looking at as far as attack penalties go, or attack stack. No armor, and you. So we're at 373. Wait, I'm sorry, but that's going to go up to 500 as soon as we include someone here. So we're at 421. Yeah, we can include them both then. So let's stick in... I mean, I could stick this unit in here. They may be out of command range after this turn, because I am going to shift 18th Army headquarters, but command range is not really that important. So let's do this. Now move you here. Alright, let's see how this looks. I mean, it's a little wonky, but at least the good news is I'm getting 2 of my artillery units into the fight. Yeah, we're barely over the attack stack limit. Concentric bonus 75%. We're attacking some units that are pretty weak. Let's hope it falls. Here we go. Looking good. Got it. There it is. Leningrad has fallen. 25,000 infantry down, another 3,400 conscripts, including another 800 cav. You can chalk that all up to about 29,000. Maybe call it 30,000 since we can round up with the general staff, perhaps. Yeah, anyways, the number of troops that are falling here is still pretty much inconsequential compared to the strategic objective that we have now taken. And if you thought 186 political points was a lot, wait till we get this one. Now, I don't know exactly how it works with units. Do they... So I guess you're going to be boned either way. We might as well move you into Leningrad, so then you can move back along the road. You look like you'll actually make it within command range. At least I can do it. I can make this work such that you are. By doing this, moving 1 over. Oh, I can move 2 over even, and you'll still be in range. Great, let me do that. So we're essentially starting to build up for our upcoming attack here. We'll shift you over, 2 people here, and 1 here. Now we have 2 infantry in each hex. They'll do somewhat of a bombardment, like a soft bombardment, over turn. Like at the beginning of our next turn, the entrenchment of these units will hopefully be a little bit lower. But I don't think that they're going to be able to hold up against this attack for more than, well, I think they might last 1 turn, but I don't think they'll last 2 turns. Once the entrenchment is really cracked after our first attack, although we'll take some losses, the second follow-up attack should be enough to get it gone. Alright, but this is exciting. Leningrad has fallen. It's one of those things where, like, as soon as it falls, it's just another objective. Going back to that thing I said about Moscow, you know, once you take it, it's kind of like, well, it didn't seem like it really mattered to me. It's just another thing which fell. We have these units which are jutting out. They are unfortunately impeding our ability for the armor to maneuver. We do have a lot of motorized and all that around here. What is it that they would do? I mean, probably what we'll end up doing is going down through the southern bridge. Now that they have the northern bridge, I mean, now that we have the southern bridge, we don't care that they hold the northern bridge. We can always loop around. And if they blow that, they're really only cutting off the forces that are on the west. And I guess giving my engineers something to do. In the south, I do want to do this attack on the 48th Tank Division. Just to push them. Whoa! Wow, that went very well. I did not expect that to go that well. Do we want to do an attack on this one? Maybe. I do want to push them back. The main reason I want to push people back is because I want 16th Army to be able to... Now that Valdai Hills has been abandoned, I don't want 16th Army putting troops way down here. It's just really awkward, the fact that this border goes right here, and that means, you know, you can't just have 1 army in position. You have to have 2 armies covering this small little kind of useless part of the front that has no real strategic purpose, especially because Valdai Hills and all the marshes and rivers here mean that just no supply is going to be able to flow there. So it's kind of cool from that perspective that the Soviets are defending it, because it's being a real thorn in my side. But, you know, I think 1 attack here. 89, I think I want to do it. The problem is if I move you over, which is what I want to do. An attack, you cannot. Well, I think this unit will be out of supply, but we'll still do this attack. Maybe this will already cause them to fall back. They'll already feel the pressure. I'm not sure whether this unit... I mean, technically the 206th is in supply through a marsh. And it's only plains on the other side, so maybe the 123rd will also be supplied. Kinda doubt it. Not super optimistic about it. And yeah, I think that this unit might as well just stay there, honestly. I don't know why they're only at 51 readiness. Is this a exhaustion issue? Fatigue. Oh, that's right. We're still on Blitzkrieg posture. Dear me. Dearie me. I think we got to pull people back and prepare 16th Army for their rest. Especially now that we've taken Leningrad. But with that in mind, we can do this attack with, I guess, all these people. No, you can't. Well, we'll get somebody else who can. Just get 3 people. Any 3 divisions who we can send up to the front to push these guys back, I think it's worth doing. Even if we take some losses. And boy, did we. Maybe the most amount of losses we've taken. I mean, the ratio in this fight was terrible. Almost 1-to-1. And it's against conscripts nonetheless. But as I already mentioned when I was talking about the Finnish forces, we're a little bit less concerned about casualties at this point. I don't want to be too cavalier, but I think we can be just more aggressive to push things where we want. Lastly, we have this unit who's not cut off anymore, and 4th Panzer has to shift southeast if we want to cover them. But we can do that. And then they can move. Yeah, let's do this, and then this. This is tricky. What exactly am I doing here? Okay, good. We can do it this way. Do we do an attack? Not unless I can get more people involved. They're in the forest. Okay, well, we don't need to do an attack. We'll just shift people like this. Again, we're going through the southern bridge. It's just important that we hold the southern bridge at this point. What I think is going to happen is they will probably just connect here. I don't know. We do have the means. We really have the means of, like, forcing the issue here. So maybe I will. Part of the reason why this is good for me to do is the units down here will be better connected to the front if we take this territory. What does that look like? That looks like only 3 sides of surround, 30% bonus because it's different groups. The alternative is just let the line stay exactly like this. We're covering the main roads. I think we're completely okay. So yeah, we'll just wait a turn. I mean, they're probably going to entrench though, which is also not good. But then do I really care if they entrench? No, not really. We'll see if we have supply. This poor unit might be out of supply for 2 turns in a row. If it is, well, so be it. We'll figure out a better solution for them maybe next turn. And I'll move this unit over here so it just gets into a better position to potentially attack next turn. We have more infantry who can potentially help out. Yeah, I think we might as well jump across. They should be able to get supply across the road, now that we have all the roads. And then motorize. I mean, again, the fuel supply here is not a big deal. Yeah, we might as well just start pushing. Where's your... Yeah, they both can do it, so let's have them both do it. And the Finnish will be the ones who end up helping out in the north along this marshy area. And get you to move in. Great, so this is very cool. Good advances. Have you shift this way, I guess. And next step is for us to move further east, which nobody can do this turn, so we'll wait. And that is... oh, look at this guy. He's just sticking out like a sore thumb. You got to go to the south as well. So it's basically going to be the Finnish on the northern bridge, and the Germans on the southern bridge. I've just decided that right now, but it seems to make sense. 1 pocket surround, big deal there. And we're still in command range here. Okay, fair enough. That's good for this turn.
I think we almost have nothing to do with 9th Army in Army Group Center. This will probably be a pretty quick turn because 3rd Panzer Group doesn't really have much to do either. Since, you know, them having been under rest and all that. 2nd Army, maybe some things we can do here. What I think I want to do is actually put the surround on these units. Yeah. This is too much to attack. 51, 78, 45. I don't know. I guess we're just kind of preparing for next turn. What I'd like to do is get ahead of them and start taking forest territories, which they're currently in, but I'd rather them not be in the forest. And I think that we'll want them to be not so entrenched when we actually do our attack. So, best thing for us is this bottom unit. This is one that I feel like we can attack without, you know, it's not going to be a big deal for us to attack this one. We don't need to attack with you, because you'll probably be scurrying off to the east. Although we could. And you're attacking from not across the river, which is good. Okay, let's do it. Okay, that was very effective. No losses on our side. 3,400 down on theirs. This is a Soviet conscript unit. The important thing is... Ah, that's very good to see. We still have the ability to go east across the river. So the main goal for 2nd Panzer Group in this particular instance is going to be to prepare to close the Tula pocket, but not get there this time. Ah, okay, sorry. We might be interrupted from time to time for reasons a channel update video is better at explaining. Next step is to eliminate this pocket. Why? Because I want to do a lot of movement around here, and the zone of control penalty, there's no point in paying it if I think I can eliminate this group altogether. And I do think that. Only thing I need to do is move you here. And then we can do 6-sided attack. Don't want to get anybody else involved because they wouldn't be 4th Army, and then we'll lose our 200% bonus. This should be sufficient. A lot of the units in here are at low readiness. Here's the highest at 18. 23. Okay, 23 is higher. But, you know, there it is. Should be a pretty quick battle and no losses. For 45,000, let's call it, down. Actually, this is fair more than that. 47,000, perhaps. So yeah, there it is. First part of the... Well, I guess that was the Orel pocket, but it was originally the Gomel Orel pocket. And that one's now down. 4th Army is going to want to continue to move south, where 2nd Panzer Group, now free of zone of control penalties, can move across the river, all except for the HQ, which I think is best left right next to the river, hopefully. So this bridge is... I think it's been... we tried to repair it already. This is at 5136. 20%. And 4331's been trying to be repaired for a long time now. It's actually below the... is that this one? 4231? Yeah, that's the one. Smolensky Bridge hasn't been repaired in a long time. And actually it is... I mean, it looks like it's impacting our trucks too. Well, that's no good. We'd like to get both of those repaired at this point. Anyway, everyone else can flood across the river. We'll see exactly where that goes, but in the meantime, we have more business to conduct with 4th Army. You guys, I think we want to have you move as far south as you can, wherever that is. You could move across, but I think 4th Army... oh, they are going to stay... we could have somebody move across. I don't see any reason why we would want to do that. Eventually 4th Army is going to come along this front, take this river. I mean, that's not too far off. It's not, I guess it's not, it's hard to imagine. It's very hard to imagine, but it's not totally unimaginable that some Soviet force will just appear here and try to take back Orel. Nah, I'm not even going to bother. Just, it's too much to consider. So you get as far south as possible. So I think what I want to do is actually just have the movements down here happen first. That way we can see where 4th Army headquarters has to end up. Although I'm pretty sure they're going to end up here. At least. Okay, so we want to move down here so we can do an attack here. It was slightly more movement points to move into the forest, but now we have better surround. I think it would have been 20%. It's now 30% here. Do an attack against very weak units. 5, 0, 0, 0, 5. Yeah, so they're very weak. And look at that, 3 of them shattered, and 1 has been reduced by about half its force. Has a final readiness of 2. Not great. We will move and probably end up doing one more follow-up attack here, because this unit is just too weak. Not to, I think. Even the unit here with its 37, it's probably enough for us to consider doing it. We also want to do an attack against these units, which have 21 readiness and some entrenchment, 18 and 0. But a 3-sided attack should be enough to get this done. The question then will be, can anybody go up here and help? Oh well, I don't think it matters. We're going to want to do the attack anyway, so let's just do it. And, you know, the pocket is not completely closed yet, but you can see that there's been enough turns that the enemy is offering almost no resistance at all. Yeah, look at that. We can definitely do that. That's perfect. I do want 1 unit to help with that, so we'll do this attack now. And shattered them both. Perfect. Mostly that's great because we can move forward. Move this unit forward, probably end up doing the attack from 4 sides on these guys who, yeah, again, still have some readiness, but their supply is completely at 0. I think everybody's supply is at 0. So we'll do the attack here. Not with the HQ. 80% bonus here too, it's just going to make matters worse. 1 shattered, 1 retreated, 3 readiness, it's just nothing. Yeah. So you can do the attack from here. You can do it from here, that's great. So I think we'll just swap some places and do yet another attack. 4 people from the 3 sides. 40% bonus. Let's just check and see if anybody here is something, any cause for concern. Yeah, well, that's an HQ, so it doesn't matter. No. Yeah, no. Effectively, the answer is no. Alright, everyone died. Cleared off them. That's another 15,000 down. And then the question is, can anybody help out with this group, which we may not be able to close off this turn. I mean, technically I could close them off with 1st Panzer Group. We may want to do that. But if nobody is available... So what I'd like to do is just move in a way that we're able to clear off this unit next turn, no problem. They have 7 readiness, so I don't even think they're going to be able to move. We can leave maybe 3 folks to do that. You're going to stay there for sure. And I think I'll move you down as well, and you will just stay where you are, and we'll have you... So yeah, actually I do want these guys to go across. We can move here. And that's... I mean, these combats are not going to be important to get HQ bonuses from. It's just not going to matter. So that means that you guys can move across. And you're still in range, very good. Okay, so that's probably all the 4th Army is going to do. Just don't have the ability to do our final attack. Somebody here with 25 readiness, so I think we'll see next turn that they are going to have less than that. Although if they don't move, I guess they'll be retaining that entrenchment bonus, but it's just not going to matter. They don't have enough supply. They're just basically surrendering. Okay, and then last is the actual movement. So we just don't have the means to completely coil around and surround this turn. Like, I could move here, I could move here, I could move here. Yeah, you can already see where it falls apart. So what I'd like to do instead is just shift forces. We know that our HQ is here. They should have not necessarily the best time receiving supply where they are, but you know, maybe if this bridge is repaired, then the trucks won't have that hard of a time. 3rd Panzer Group is going to have an easier time, and you take the average of the truck penalties, or it's, you know, yeah, the average basically. So if the Smolensk bridge isn't repaired, at least the 3rd Panzer Group truck route is a little bit easier. And I don't really care about going too crazy with this. I think we can like lob most forces right here. Units that are not motorized can just move up a little bit further. Maybe you here. Maybe you here. And then you... I guess having you across the river would be good, so that we can start attacking from that side. Although, I want to make sure that we're in HQ range. Oh, we definitely are. Okay, good. Alright, that looks good to me. So, definitely are setting up for another 4-sided attack, maybe 5-sided attack next turn. It'd be nice if this unit... Almost surely they won't be able to move north and attack, but if they can, that'd be very nice. And then the next step is just to, again, coil up all these... We have the means of almost getting the full surround this turn, but we're just limited... because the HQ can't really get there, and we'd really like to have the bridge so the trucks aren't crossing a river or going all the way around. I'm not even sure what they do. It'd actually be kind of fun to see. We can do this. Get more territory. Same thing here. I don't know if we'll need to move north or not, but you know what? We can leave that for 4th Army. Send that guy up that way. And another one just staying on the road. And that is Army Group Center. A productive turn, but a quick one. One last thing that was hidden away from me in the last session was that we had this unit hidden. And he's able to come down here, and these units are pretty weak. 25 readiness, good entrenchment, but 0 supply. So I'm just going to roll the dice that this one unit can actually take him out. And that's exactly what happened. That's another 13,000 down. And 7th Infantry can actually come down here and hold this, which is going to aid me, I would say aid me quite a bit in the shifting of forces in Army Group South. Which means the 4th Army can kind of, I mean, we could shift this unit even further this way. We just have no, I mean, 258th and 134th can essentially overrun the 165th, which is all that remains of this pocket. 3,400 soldiers. They can overrun that on their way east, northeast, towards the new front. So with that in mind, we really don't need to keep many people here. I don't think anybody else can get that far. Yeah, you can get here. You can get here, which means this unit can shift, and I guess we'll just shift them all the way out. And we'll leave one unit here, I guess. But everyone else can just start moving, and we'll probably want, I think, somebody should head south-ish to cover this area. I'll have that one go down there. But most everyone's going to head up here. Here we go. So that's good movement for 6th Army. Basically, we're just trying to shift east, and we'll get to 1st Panzer Group in a second. I don't want to spoil the surprise yet, but I mean, the question is essentially what to do, right? 1st Panzer Group has been like in the spotlight. They've been the star army for the last couple of turns, with a huge burst forward to capture Kursk, then creating and helping with the Orel pocket, and also creating the Gomel pocket. I mean, the Gomel Orel, all of that was, you know, they were instrumental in all that. And now moving back south the line, I have 1st Panzer Group headquarters just trying to stockpile fuel for a couple of turns. And that does feel very cool. Feels very realistic that we have to have the HQ sit there. I kind of imagine it that these trucks are actually coming and staying with the HQ. Because we're about to make a push out. And where exactly? I had mentioned, oh boy, Voroshilovgrad, however you pronounce that. Maybe coming around from the north and taking that. It wouldn't really do much to do that. We can ignore that city or town or whatever. And honestly, 17th Army's in pretty good position to do whatever we want already. So I actually have a bigger goal, which is probably going to become apparent when I'm sending 6th Army out. So what I have in mind is that 6th Army can start pushing here and start pushing east. And I think we'll do this. And then that. And then this. So basically what I'm trying to do is push towards Stalingrad. Why not have 1st Panzer Group just stock up as much fuel as we can, and make a huge blitz all the way to the east for Stalingrad. Because time is running out. I mean, it's not running out desperately short, or, there's not like we're not nearly at the buzzer, but it can be said that time is running out fairly soon on the game, just because we're about to capture all the objectives, and I don't think that the Soviets will have any chance of reconquering them. So why not have some fun? And that's, for me, taking Stalingrad. I mean, we can actually say, if we take Stalingrad, that this was an enormous victory. Okay, so that's the plan. Not to over-belabor the point. Otherwise, we want to still surround this unit, which is kind of potentially a threat. And we'll do that like so. And I think what I might want to do is shift some of these forces. I was going to have 17th Army take Kharkov. That may still end up be what happens. It may still end up happening. Let's say it that way. But there's a lot of action going in the south part of 17th Army, and I prefer the HQ to be a little bit closer to them, which means I may want to take away 101st and 1st Mountain so that 17th Army can ship further south. I need them to move. I don't want to lose any of the territory up here, so that's why I'm kind of thinking, where does the army go? I'm not expecting these units to move out aggressively to the west, even if I leave a gap in the line. Better not to find out that they will, of course, but I mean, if they did, they would just be signing their own death warrant. Okay, so I'm going to kind of dance around a little bit here, because there's several things I want to get through. I want to move over these units, and basically there's a whole shift going along the 4th Romanian, so that we can better protect across the river on this side as well. And that's just supposed to be freeing up 17th Army for shifting. Now, I can do this attack, and I will. I'm going to try to do this attack on this unit, which is, it's just a weak cav unit. It has 1200 and some artillery. Because it's weak, I just want to probe in. So we are. We didn't get a whole lot done there. Yeah, not really anything. Now we could do a follow-up attack. But, again, it's going to take us out of range of our HQ. And I don't want to do that. So I think I'm just going to shift over. And we can actually shift over twice. And shift you over once. Which means that this unit can come and just very conservatively fall back so that it's not the target of any attacks. Because it's a pretty weak unit. And it's just barely in range. But it is. I mean, we could even go one further, I see. So that's good. I mean, obviously we set ourselves up well so that now we can attack over to the east. The disruption I'm causing down here, it's mainly because I don't want the fronts to be static. And they are totally static, which favors the Soviets. So let's do an all-sided attack over here. Just pushing these units back. Okay, another 2600. 2 of our units are going to follow that one up. So obviously there's a very weak unit right here, which we're hoping we can just shatter. And I think I will just attack that unit with 1. Perfect. We'll move in. We have the ability to move north as well, which is key. And now we'll do an attack on this unit. It's from the same hex, which is not ideal. But they are only 26 readiness, no entrenchment. I mean, we're doing a follow-up attack, so we're hoping that this is potent. Well, I mean, it could have gone better. We didn't really eliminate that many troops. Only 1,000 more. They're left with 4,400. It's only conscripts left. Feel like don't really need to pursue further. And, of course, if we do, actually, we could, and I would like to. But if we do, we're going to be outside of HQ range. So again, that's the question, is how to move my HQ. I may need to cut away to resolve that, but first let's just go down to 11th Army. They have something very simple to do, which is to move the highest readiness unit over, and the next highest one also over, and then the other 2 are going to shift back. And they are desperately in need of a rest, because right now they're getting the bonus. It's crazy. They are getting the plus 20 action point bonus, and we still don't have people who... Almost nobody has over 100 action points because of the penalty to fatigue. So we really need to let them rest. I'm still not sure whether or not we'll switch back off the Blitzkrieg to offensive or not, but something I'm considering. Anyway, I mean, it's not relevant for now. We'll just keep waiting for that bridge, and the bridge is close. It got 25%. So that's technically the point where we've lost the coin flip. So let's see. Yeah, 25%, we missed it with roll 60. Obviously, that's just a 1 in 4 chance, but the cumulative not getting the 5, 10, 15, or 20 before that puts us at, I think a coin toss was either this time, it was already between 20 and 25, or it might be between 25 and 30, I don't remember. I did the math on it at one point, but don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'll just continue our attacks along the front. We have this we can do. We can take our 268s on that hex, get really up to the limit, 40% consecutive bonus. This should smash. This cavalry has given us hell. Been very, very stubborn. I feel like that one went pretty well, so I'm happy. Move 1 unit in. We'll do a follow-up attack because I really don't want the cav to have any chance of reconstituting. Okay, that was pretty good. Another 1,000 down. And I think we will push at least one of our units forward here. Oh, in fact, we can do a follow-up attack with both of them. Well, if we can do a follow-up attack with both of them, we'll move both forward, but we'll only have follow-up attack with one. How about this one? Come on, shatter. Ah, perfect. That's what I want. I'm not sure if I'll move forward or not. I guess we will, because we'll be protected and defended. So, you can move here as well. And now we have another situation where we can get four-sided surround on this unit. So these two units, besides almost being cut off, and we want to assure that they're cut off very shortly with this unit. There it is, we won, but we didn't get, as far as I wanted to. Maybe I will do the attack again, so we can move in here. Like, this unit can get covered either from the north or the south, but I wanted to still do a follow-up attack, I think. Let's try it. Okay, that went very well. Only one unit survived. I don't want to actually move in there. I'm not sure where. I may want to move north even. Kind of abandon this run up to Stalino, which is going to be very hard to take. Yeah, and then we can either fall back. I'm not sure what I'll do there yet, but this is good. So we have these two units. They're technically surrounded. I think that they will be able to remerge back with the front, but it'll force them to do that. And the movement means that they'll lose their entrenchment, and they should be easy pickings on the turn to come. Now we can do this attack with 4 people, not the HQ. Took a loss here, but still inflicted good losses, 3,200. They're down to 7 readiness. It would be nice to follow up on that attack as well, but we should not, simply because there's one unit there that is full readiness and full entrenchment. But, the game is being played this way constantly, right? I guess I want to keep these units where they are, but what I'd like to do is kind of move here, 4 sides of surround for that unit next turn. And then we can't really do anything about this one because it's across a river. But at that point, hopefully 17th Army can move north, or we can get 6th Army to take care of. We need Kharkov still, so somebody needs to take that. But so far things look good. It's basically just pushing the front, and I think that's... Well, let me do a quick study of 17th Army and see how I want to reposition things. Oh, did 3rd Romania not move? I forgot to move these guys. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Get everybody across who can. Yeah, 3rd Romanian, I don't even know where they're going to end up. Maybe they'll end up by Verona's, but I'm not sure. We basically want them to have to hold some front somewhere. Verona's makes sense to me, to keep people from... let's hold the Don, south of the Don, and then let the push come all the way over here, and we'll cross the Don on this bridge, perhaps. Who knows? I'm assuming that we're going to get there before the defenders, because they have no defenders left anyway. Much less any defenders they can spare for some random, blitzkrieg that we're going to be undertaking. Alright, finally came to some conclusions here. We do have a unit I can move north here, so I'll move this one north as well. We'll keep this one there, so no matter what, he'll be connected. They have one little escape route, but it's taking them away from Stalino, which is good. So they're, it's not like they're going to be able to fortify up here. If they're up here, it's easier for us to attack them. I'm not going to attack Kharkov or do anything spectacular this turn. I am going to, however, move this unit here. this unit here. So we're going to keep these units where they are, because 17th Army can still not get to everyone. I'm going to have to basically kick the can down the road to the next 4 days, next episode, next turn, figure out how to handle Kharkov. I kind of want 6th Army to handle it, but already I made a blunder from in some way, not a big blunder, but at least a mistake. But I sent a lot of the units north, and I do want them to go there, because I want to occupy this territory, but if I want 6th Army to take Kharkov, obviously their north is not the direction they need to go. Last thing I want to do for the turn, then, before decisions, is just get everybody lined up so they're right on the edge, so that we are fully able to fully blitzkrieg next turn. And this is why I pushed these units as far as I did, because I can take away a little bit of extra territory minus 5 action points that we'd have to spend if I didn't do this scouting and the territory grabbing this turn. But since I am doing it this turn, all of that will cost 5 less action points, and that's just going to help us on our merry way to Stalingrad. These units will jump into Kursk, and you will drop here, and everyone's ready to go. We're basically right on the edge. I can get these guys to move. Well, let's just move one there. I might as well move there now, but I'm going to keep this guy just in Kursk itself. 23k of fuel left. Again, just grab whatever we can the next turn, and then we're basically going on a big camping trip, big hike. That is all I can think of for this turn, so we'll move to decisions. I did catch one thing, by the way. 2nd Panzer Group HQ can actually move back 1, which puts them exactly 10 hexes from Orsha. I hope that helps with the truck situation here a little bit. Card-wise, nothing in the south. 17th Army is going to retain artillery. It's a debate between 2nd Army and 9th Army. Obviously, 4th Army doesn't need it anymore. But I'm going to give it to 2nd Army because they'll probably be involved in more action. If I can find them, there they are. Okay, I also want to go ahead and release my Panzer Group. So they are no longer going to be occupying Army Group Center. Lastly, we can go to Army Group North. Actually, Army Group North stays the same, so that's all we want to do with cards. Let's go over to decisions. I already did the atrocities suffered, but pretty much everything else here is interesting to look at. We'll agree to be filmed because of the surplus of political points, so some benefit to that. With people, honestly, I don't even care about getting relationship with. For mentoring, we'll definitely take the best one we can and get some nice bonuses, I guess. For relocate airfield and Army Group Center, I'm going to keep us at Orsha, but Vyazma is a pretty viable one. Moscow itself does not have any airfields, so we're going to have to use either Vyazma or Orsha, but considering it's operating from 3rd Panzer Group, Orsha seems to be fine, and because its quality is over 100, that's a lot better than Vyazma with 60. So we'll keep that one there for at least another 3 turns. Rail conversion here, the option is to stop converting. We're currently converting at Vyazma. We also just turn off HQ stuff. So we're currently converting at Vyazma and head to Moscow. The alternative is to go Smolensk to Orel to Tula. And I think we'll just go right to Moscow. That's my plan at least. To let them keep going. Not that we need... It's not a political point-based decision at this point, but still I think sensible. For forward supply base in our group center, I don't think we need to push forward towards Orel. I mean, that's going to be over a couple of bridges that we don't own unless they're going to be going through like Kursk or something, so it just doesn't seem like a good idea. We're going to stay put there. Then we're also going to stay put in Army Group South. We need the trucks to run one more turn before we do anything there so that we can get that last top off of fuel before heading towards Stalingrad. Truck refits, we can do all these. Just spend whatever kind of political points we need to. 15 political points even. Whatever the cost, we'll do whatever is necessary to get these guys going. And it's going to make some people happy, and that is the turn. Okay, I think this will be a quick turn resolution because the Soviets don't have a lot left. But let's see what they do. They did escape from that pocket, but they did go north, which is what I expected. That's Army Group South, 17th Army's pocket. Looks like they're pushing east away from Leningrad now that it's fallen. Tulip Pocket looks like it still has some potential there. People moving around Moscow, more moving in the Valdai Hills, and that's it. Yeah, another pretty uneventful end of turn, which is what we expected. Colonel von Bernuth, report on inspection tour to southern wing of 16th Army in the Valdai area. My suspicion is confirmed that the morale of the troops had suffered under adverse weather and hardships imposed by the terrain. The conditions are indeed difficult, but by no means over severe. Regrouping and exchange of the disrupted divisions on the Valdai front would be desirable. Okay, Leningrad was captured. Our relationship with Hitler has improved by another 20. The Führer wishes to inform you that he is overjoyed that you have lanced the beating heart of the Bolsheviks. Truly, yes. More bonuses. We have bonuses in Army Group North this time. Not that that really matters, it's almost a dead theater as well. In Army Group, actually the 18th Army one is important, so we can maybe take Talon. 3rd and 2nd Panzer Groups are important to see there, as well as we have 9th Army and 4th Army. Actually, 2nd Army, the only one with the artillery, didn't get it. And Army Group South still has 11th Army, which is the one I'm looking forward to. Hopefully the bridge is fixed. Looks like everything. Army Group South, everything all the time. And fuel here is up to 29k, let's call it. That's technically 5 turns of fuel. I don't think that's actually true because we're going to be pushing pretty ferociously. But hopefully it's enough for 3 turns of fuel, which is what I estimate it'll take for us to get to and maybe take Stalingrad. Dear Mrs. Lirka, it is my sad duty to inform you that your son, Soldat, Private Hugo Lurka, has died in combat during fighting on the Ostfront while under my command. What? Hugo was a fine soldier who always had a smile on his face. I am sorry for your loss, and we can only hope that Hugo's sacrifice will help ensure that the fatherland prevails against the Bolshevik foe. Yours, Lieutenant Schott. Note, there is a 4% chance of Hugo dying or going MIA if his division is engaged in combat last turn. And we happen to roll a natural 1. Wow. Well, I feel like this series has been amazing in a lot of ways, and I love that this has happened because it actually did hit me in the gut. I mean, Hugo's just some digital letters, right? And but the fact that the timing of this and my I do like to continually underscore the horribleness of war, and I feel like this game does a pretty good job of putting a face to the soldier with the letters of Hugo. It's a very effective instrument. So Hugo has been lost, and really the saddest thing, but also part of I feel like the series has gone very well, and this is almost like the dramatic touch to the ending, is that he almost made it all the way. We almost had him go all the way, and he died clearing up a pocket. I guess he died in this one. So we no longer have the red H, but I think he was one of these guys. I forget which. Wow, okay, I was not expecting that. But Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa is a good game. That's going to do it for this episode. Until the next one, thanks for watching and take care.